Hello, 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 everybody. How are we today? Oh my goodness, on this beautiful July 28th. I can't say it's sunny, it's an overcast, but it's still a beautiful day. So, with all of that being said, welcome in the den. I am your mama cougar, aka Kitty Lane, that baby boomer from the peninsula in Virginia. And we are here in the castle of Create and Relate, down here in the den. How is everybody today? So happy to be here. So happy to be here. A little discombobulated, as usual. I don't think I would be me if I wasn't. So we've done the all aboard. Baby! How are you? I can tell you all ahead of time that Joan will not be with us today. She had previous engagement. She's not here, I don't think. She might be. I don't know if she got back in time, but it'll be great if she is. But if not, we're going to continue on and we're going to keep her in our hearts. Okay. So, like I said, quite a lot to talk about today, as usual. Sis, you're here. Bless your heart. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to B, which is breakfast. Y'all, I have not had breakfast yet. I'm not, but it's okay. It's okay because I'm hearing all this chopping going on up there. We know in a little while Meals on Wheels. No, is Meals on Wheels coming? Yeah, it's Tuesday. Okay, so they're coming soon. Everybody's up. Everybody's happy. We're doing good. I've not even had my coffee yet, and I'm in good spirits. So what does that tell you? Today is an up and up day. Okay, as for drink, I have had a bottle of water. I do have a bottle and a half over here ready to go. They're not cold, room temperature. I know that I will be getting a cold bottle soon. Michelle, the gang's all here. Vivian, oh my goodness. Bless your heart. Yes, the gang's all here. I'm so happy to see you all. I really am. Okay, today's focus is quite simple. We are working on this monstrosity. Hopefully, we'll be finished by this weekend. I talked to the CEO, and she said, "Mom, you know there's no rush on that, right?" And I said, "I know it's the thing that I put on myself." And she said, "And I understand that. I do the same at work, but don't overstress yourself." Maybe that's awesome. Already had my coffee, but it didn't do what. Well, it will, it will, it will. Just get. Sometimes we got to get it time. Okay, okay. And the rest of the week, I am focusing on whatever my hands get on. I am just keeping it completely honest. Whatever I put my hands on, that's what I'm going to be doing. Bless your heart. Okay, trying to read the chat, y'all. Everything looks a little distant today. I don't understand why. Outfit today is compliments the granddaughter. As I told you all, she's the little fashionista. I thought that she was going to grab my purple moo, but she grabbed this. I was like, oh. She says, but it's pretty, and I like to see you in it. Ah, okay. And then, of course, the groups that I want to shout out today are our group love. Working as usual. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. One of the hardest working women on YouTube. Yes. And I understand. I understand. But the people that I wanted to shout out, of course, our very own, yes, Michelle Crochets. Please, please, please don't forget to check her out. Um, there were a couple of items that she showed yesterday that I was like, oh, I got to do that. oh, I got to do that. And I pulled up my book and I saw what I had on my wish list. So I just wrote it down under ideas. What I love about that is that some of the things that Michelle researches are things that don't really cross our plates every day. You know, some of them are quite unique or just forgotten, you know, and the one that she did about the vintage blankets, and I'm a blanket girl. I'm telling you. I'm telling if you miss it, you're missing a treat. Please don't forget the cozy encyclopedia. Please don't forget the cozy encyclopedia. Everything that you need to know about every stitch that she has covered. This, that, and I believe I know it's going to grow, but my belief in how it's growing is that it's going to go beyond stitches. It's going to go into design elements. It's going to go into um, a lot of different things. But not only does she explain what the stitch is, she shows you how to use it, where it should be used, how to perform it. And it's just, it makes a lot of things that we, sometimes bad habits that we get into, it'll help you correct those and turn it into a habit, a good habit, a normalcy. So I'm just saying, please join her on Saturday mornings for the Stitch Circle, and then again on Saturday evenings for the Yarn Bistro. The Stitch Circle, it's kind of a laid back community, a little structured, but it's fun. You pick up your whips, you get to work, you got trivia, you got conversation, but Saturday night is a lot more laid back. It's like just a group of buddies laid back chit chatting. And it's fun. You don't want to miss it. And then my trio, my Stitcherhood trio, Lexi, Lori, and Camille. Please don't forget about the Stitcherhood blankets. It's still in effect. We're in the third quarter now. Um, and what they want is the queen size blankets, but they kind of need everything. These are people who have been displaced by DV, and it's all going to a shelter down in Dallas, Texas. If you cannot donate to them, consider looking at somewhere in your area that you may be able to donate to. DV is everywhere. It is everywhere. And there are families being displaced as a result of it. These are hard times. So just look into your local areas about donation sites. If you're like me and love to crochet and just watch things pile up as you're making them. Another thing that you can do that I do, I have what I call a kindness bag. I randomly go into my box, get things, put them in the bag, and as I'm going to like the doctor's office or over to Walmart or whatever, someone who's been exceptionally kind to me, I have them look in the bag and get one item, whatever they choose. So just keep things like that in mind. If you have a homeless community around you, we're coming up on, I know we haven't even reached the hottest part of summer, but we know that fall and winter is coming. And lots of times, just like we do, who are fortunate enough to have shelter, they plan ahead as well. So if you want to do the hats and scarves that are not real heavy and cumbersome right now, you can do those. And you can, when you find or run into someone who's less fortunate, there you go. Okay. Um, Also, Lexi and Lori are together this month. I think this month and next month for the Magical Mal. And mhm. Lazy, what is it? Like crazy, hazy holiday day. Okay. Yeah, uh-huh. That's it. Bless your heart. If you can, real quick, Lori, please drop the theme for the Magical Mail for this bi-monthly uh, situation, please. Because I get it all mixed up. And I know it's in my book. It's in my book. But I had to flip a lot of pages to get to it. And last but not least, I want to bring into Cinema Stitches. And I'll get a little more into that in a moment. But please remember her. Everybody's handle is in the description box. Don't forget to check the description boxes if you can before we go into our lazy days holiday craze. That's it. Lazy days holidays craze. Okay. Um, because starting August 1st, we are going to have what we call knowledge nuggets. I named it. And we're spelling nuggets, KNUGGETS. And what that is I will be dropping gems starting August 1st, one day a week, at least one day a week. It'll be titled Gem, and there will be a question that follows. And at the end of that question will be a keyword. What you're going to do, if you want to participate, is answer that question by email. My email address is in the description box. And in the title line, you're going to put the keyword. If you participate, your name will go into a participation jar. At the end of the year, I will gather all of those, get them together, check and make sure everything is straight. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's January 2nd is the first Saturday of 2027. That is when we will pick someone from the participation bucket. Okay? So that's their healthometer. I'm not even going to break it down. I'm just going to give you the round number, and the round number is 10. Guys, I feel really, really, really good. The other night, I had a scare. I stood up, and my legs decided they didn't want to work. And the kids were asleep, and I needed to check the house. So I found myself crawling through the apartment to make sure the doors were locked and everything. Why was that so important? Because last week, someone was trying to get into our apartment. I don't, and they, the one thing about living in a close community, everybody sees everything. So they know when my daughter leaves to go to work. And I think because they see when I'm on my scooter that I am handicapped, but they don't know about these little brown bunnies. They might turn around and leave real quick if they do get in here. I'm just like, they know how to knock. Okay, the important news. Going back to Cinema Stitches, her name is Jennifer Rivera, and she's from upstate Virginia. And they recently got into their dream home. We've had a rash of storms to come through. And over the weekend, a tree fell onto their house. She and her daughter were in the room when it happened, in the room that the tree fell on. Fortunately, the tree itself did not come through the ceiling, so the family is fine. They were able to leave and get shelter. But what we can do as a community, pick a playlist and watch it, guys. She is monetized, so the more we give her support in that way, if we can't find another way, that is one way that we can help her out. Just pick a playlist and just watch it. Just go through it and let it play. Now, she is really good with wearables. She does some amazing tutorials for wearables. I have a dress right now, which was a t-shirt that she did, but she gives you the tools that you can make it size friendly, and you can remodel it. She gives you lots of ideas along with coaching you through that specific project. So if you're a tutorial type person, and you want to make wearables and you want to do it via tutorial, that's a good place to go. So that's a suggestion on a playlist you might want to watch. She's really good with tutorials, tops, sweaters, scarves, and wraps. Really good, really, really good. Okay, now I have to backtrack a little bit because I left the emoji out. What I would like is a turtle. My best friend's birthday was earlier this month, and her favorite spirit animal sound like my grandson. Her favorite spirit animal is a turtle. And she and I have probably talked more this month than we have all year. So I see turtles. Thank you. Okay, now for our joke of the day. It's a little long, but hang in here with me. So, Mr. Johnson goes to the doctor and he says, Doc, I feel miserable. Everything in my body hurts. My muscles, my bones, my joint, everything hurts. I feel like I've been hit by a crashing plane. This is the worst. So the doctor looks at him and says, okay, I understand, and I got good news and bad news for you. Mr. Johnson says, give me the bad first. He says, what you have is the good. Mr. Johnson's like, okay. He says, the good news is I got a shot that'll knock all those little nasty germs out of there. Mr. Johnson's like, okay, I'm not crazy about shots, but if it'll do the trick, let's do it. Meantime, 3 of these little germs had a little meeting on the inside of Mr. Johnson's body. And the first germ said, guys, the doc said he has something that will eradicate us. What are we going to do? And the second germ says, look, chill. We know nothing can completely get rid of us until we're ready to leave on our own. So just sit back and see what happens. So the doctor comes back in the room. And he says, Mr. Johnson, we're ready. I have it right here. But before we do this, I have a personal question to ask you. And Mr. Johnson is like, how personal, Doc? And he says, well, I need to know how regular do you poop? He said, oh, that's not personal. I'm like clockwork. 8:20 every morning. Me and the porcelain throne are like twins. We locked in every day. Doc says, that's good to go. Well, you know where we're going to have to put this. So get ready. So Mr. Johnson gets his hip ready. Meanwhile, the germs on the inside are like, oh my God, here he comes. And the first germ says, you know what? I'm going to hide behind my heart. I can't do this. I don't know what it is, but I can't take it. And the second germ is like, okay, now we're in panic mode. I'm going to hide behind the liver. And the third germ says, well, while y'all are playing hide and seek, I'm going to catch the 8:20 in the morning. Oh my goodness. I absolutely loved that one. Yes, I did. That is, oh my God. And when I was listening to it, I could just see myself telling my mom, that's the kind of humor my mother loves. Okay, so real quick, second emoji, same category. I need a cat. I need a cat. I need a cat. Okay, we're all the way down to L, guys. We are moving right along. So, what I have for you under L is our live weather report here on the peninsula in Virginia, this city known as Hampton, 2023's City of the Year. I mean, I see you, sis. Okay. Um, so currently our temperature is 83. It says it feels like it's 84, and it is projected to get up to 86 today. Our temperatures are rising. We have enjoyed the past few days of kind of calm. Every now and then it'll get a little windy, but all in all, it's been fairly decent. Mental health check-in. What I want to do is at the end of every month, I want all of us, or the last Tuesday of every month, I want all of us to do a mental health check-in. If we just simply take a little bit of time to assess how things have gone for us that month, because mental health is so vital to each and every one of us. As much as a lot of us try to ignore it, it is a part of who we are. And I just want us to sit back, think for a moment about things that we've gone through this month, the stresses, the happy points, the mediocres, and just take note of how things have gone for you this month mentally. Just a quick assessment, just that moment. Don't want you to stress about it. And the reason I say that is because sometimes you think about it, you can find yourself in trends. For the longest time, August was the worst month for me. And I never knew why. I never knew why. When I got married, the first time we got married, September 25th, but I couldn't figure out, I'm sorry, September 24th, 1985. I get the fours and the fives mixed up. But I couldn't figure out why August was so bad. And then when I thought about it, my grandmother passed the very last of July. She passed a month before her birthday. Her birthday was in August. We had to bury her just before her birthday. Um, and my grandmother and I, she was the first family member that I had the pleasure of taking care of while they were sick. So, um, yeah, and every year in August, I found myself just not quite feeling like myself. And when I was finally able to sit down and piece together, and it wasn't until recently, I got out of the August funk, and then I got into the June, July funk. And my mom passed away in June. Yep. So I'm working through that still, and it's after my mom passed, it really became like June, July, August. July, today is my grandfather's birthday. And if he had lived to see today, he would have been 116 today. And that was the first real big loss that I had. I was 12 years old. And speaking of mental health, not understanding grief back then as we do today, their answer was lock her away. So there's that. Okay, so on to new ideas or projects. And we're going to blend that with the O, which is our future. I told you all about GEM, which is the knowledge nuggets. And the I've decided I am going to make myself that crossbody bag. I'm going to make myself that crossbody bag because, ta-ta-da-da, next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday, is not only my granddaughter's birthday, but I will be in Selma, North Carolina. We are having our family reunion. So Flex Friday is up in the air for that week right now. But I definitely know that I won't be here for the live on Saturday. Now, however, if I am able to sneak away and get in the hallway of the building where we'll be, then I might do a live from there. It might be kind of brief, but I'll try. Okay. So, y'all, we're running through these. I thought it was going to take a long time. So how about I twiddle my... Okay, let me stop. Okay, we are on to the letter P. I want to encourage you all as you make your makes. Let's share pictures with one another. You can go under the community post and post a picture. You can go to my Facebook, which is kind of empty, but it is under Create and Relate. That is also listed down in the description box. Instagram under Create and Relate description box. You can email me the pictures and I'll share them on the community post. And that way we can see what everybody's doing, all the beautiful things that everybody's doing. And I know that I'm bad. I need to post my own stuff. But I do have one thing I can show you. My granddaughter said my grandson has a mat that he sits on his stool when he sits at the bar. And my granddaughter was like, I want one too. So she got one. She got a mat to sit on, and she absolutely loves it. When she came in last night and saw that it was finished, she was like, Grandma, that is beautiful. We grabbed my box. I think this one is probably a whole ball, and it's a mess. But it was in my bed last night, and it fit in the box. But all my little pieces or partially started, that's the box, or partially started pieces, I just toss them in the box or in a bag, and I just pull out the pieces as we go and put them together and made her mat. I haven't decided what I'm going to do about the crossbody bag yet. I've become so fascinated with this technique, and yes, I did make a video showing you how to put these together, but I've become so fascinated with this technique, I think I might try to do this for a crossbody bag so that I can carry my crocheting with me when I go down to North Carolina. We're going to carry the wheelchair because the scooter won't fit in the truck. And it'll be a lot easier for me to get around with the family with the wheelchair. So that way with the crossbody bag, I'll have what I want on me and won't have to worry about, putting things down and all that good stuff. So we are definitely planning ahead. Please don't forget. I wrote it down and I left it. Don't forget the trivia. I'm not worried. Okay. Oh, I see what's happening. Y'all, John is working on a beautiful rug. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. I am leaving for the family reunion on the 7th. I'm not sure what time on the 7th I'm leaving at. The person who's taking the first leg of driving, oh, I might get to drive. It'll be the first time in almost 3 years. I'm excited. Oh my goodness, I am so excited. I'm excited to be going to the family reunion, and it's funny. And I know it's going to sound strange because my family doesn't treat me the best. They don't, but I always enjoy seeing them. And okay, you can play that. You can play that role, sis. You can play that role. Um, I always like to see that everybody is well. We had two significant losses this year. I just learned about one yesterday. Um, but last month we lost the patriarch of the family. He was 92. We all lovingly referred to him as Uncle Ham. His name was Abraham. And rarely he was preceded in going home by all three of his children. He lost one of his twin boys years ago to mistaken identity, um, firearm violence, and then 3 years, 4 years ago, 4 years ago, he lost his daughter. She and I were really close. She lived here in Virginia, and we used to meet up a lot to go to lunch or dinner. And the last meeting we had was here in Hampton at the Cracker Barrel, and it was on July 1st. And she, while we were eating, she complained of a pain in her hip. And when we got outside to take our pictures, she cringed again. And then she called me a week later and she was in tears. And she said that the pain was so bad she couldn't take it, that she had gone to the hospital twice and they sent her back home. Um, it ended up with her going to the hospital 5 times before they did any deep diving into it. And they decided to do a biopsy and came back. She had bone cancer. Mind you, that was July 1st. And then the last week of November, the day after Thanksgiving, she passed away, which was right before my birthday. Her wake, as a matter of fact, was on my birthday, and her funeral was the day after. But and then 2 years ago, the remaining twin had a substance problem, and when Uncle Ham came in from church, they found him in his room. So all three of his kids went before him, and last month he expired. Um, and then, like I said yesterday, the oldest male cousin of the brother, just older. Was he older? Okay, Uncle Ham was the baby. Then it was granddaddy. Trying to get him to order, y'all. She had 7 boys and 3 girls. I'm trying to get him in order. Okay, Uncle Ham was the baby. Then it was Granddaddy, Uncle Ernest, and Uncle Clint. Uncle Clint is the one that I'm speaking of. He had 7 kids, I believe. I know 3 girls, and his daddy is CF, Aaron, and Philip. Yes, he had 7 kids. The oldest boy, CF, passed away apparently a couple of weeks ago. I just found out yesterday. But yes, I know that's gonna be 2 members that we miss. And it's one of the reasons I always go to the family reunion is because I want to see my Uncle Ham. One of the reasons I stay away from the family reunions is because it's yeah. Uncle Ham was close to my mother in age, and I remember younger family reunions. My Maddie used to do most of the cooking. My Maddie was my grandfather's mother, and she used to do most of the cooking and had this huge, long spread. I mean, the layout was huge. I'm talking making lemonade by cutting up the lemons in the big tin buckets. What do you call those? A pail. The big tin pails. You know, if you got the real big tin pails, I'm from back in the day where we used to bathe in those. Okay, you know, like the galvanized buckets. You get the really, really big ones, you take a bath in those. These are the kind of big ones that you would get, like, go out to the, when you get the tobacco or when you get the corn, all that good stuff. You fill those up. Okay, so we'd have those full of lemonade. Yeah, one filled with tea and had about 5 of them full of lemonade. When I say we were cutting up lemons and squeezing them, we were cutting up lemons and squeezing them, bunches of them. And then you had to go to the well, prime the well, and get the water from the, yes, I'm from the country. At any rate, when we would have our family reunions, as long as that spread was, whenever they would have the prayer, usually it was Uncle Lonnie that did the prayer. Whenever they had the prayer, God rest his soul, Uncle Lonnie would start praying. Uncle Ham would be at one end of the table, and my mama would be at the other end of the table. And by the time Uncle Lonnie was finished with the blessing, the grace, Mama would be at the other end of the table. Uncle Ham would be at the other end of the table. They already eaten. They have gone down that table and had some of everything on that table. It is funny. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness. But Uncle, with Uncle Ham being so close to Mom in age, he was always younger, spry, and I used to always enjoy being around Uncle Ham. CF, on the other hand, one family reunion we went to, CF was always kind of distant, but this particular one, when we pulled up to the location, CF came out to the van, and the first thing he said, not realizing the health situation, he comes out to the van and opens my door and said, "My God, Gene, how'd you let this girl get so big? You should have tied her to the bumper and made her run to the family reunion." Me and CF had a problem after that. We had a serious problem after that. To him, it was jokes. To me, it wasn't jokes. This was when I first found out that I couldn't control this. This was not my problem. I suspected that there was a growth or something. Didn't find out until last year. Was it last year or year before last? Maybe it was year before last when I found out that I actually do have a hernia, a hiatal hernia, a hiatal hernia, but I can't control the penis. Since I've been here with you all, it's gotten larger. And most of you by now know how I eat. You know, most of the time I don't eat like I'm supposed to, meaning that I don't eat. I can literally go all day without eating. But when my CEO is here, that is not going to happen. Trust and believe. It is not going to happen. But both of them will not be there, and It's going to be weird without them, but I also, the same group of people, as funny acting as they may be, have taught me the importance of family. And you know, from me finding my other family and them not being so loving, stern, sarcastic, but believing and keeping it close. If it weren't for the love that the Hodges side of my family has shown me, I don't think I'd be able to deal with the abandonment that the McGinnis side of my family has shown me. I am so thankful for my nephew who happens to live in New York, close to BB, or where she can at least see him on the news every day, because that young man makes me, being raised an only child, you don't have nieces and nephews. And then finding out that you're the baby of five and all of a sudden you're an auntie at 53 years old. This young man, this young man treats me like auntie. He does. I remember when his sister got married in February of 2020, my god sister and I drove down to the wedding. When we got to the church, he was one of the ushers, Courtney McGinnis. He was one of the ushers, Corey, I'm sorry, I said Courtney, Corey McGinnis. When he opened the door and he saw me, this grown man jumped up and down like a 5-year-old little boy. And he was like, Auntie. It made me feel so good. It really did. And when you find people like that that can make you feel that much joy, kind of like I feel when I come in here with you all, it really does your heart good. It really, really does. On to the rest of the reminders. BB and Joan, don't stick your fingers in your ears. I'm going to say it real briefly. 30 minutes of organization. Daily journaling keeps away the frustration. That's all I'm going to say. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. Now, on to the S. There are two things under the S. To go back, first to go back over the schedule. On Tuesday we have Take Off Tuesday, which is giving us our setup for the week. Y'all know what I have planned for today. And being that this was the first thing that came out, I'm going to work on this and I'll probably start that cross Friday bag. That'll be what I'm working on for this week. Um, and then on Thursday, we have Trivia Thursday. This Thursday's Trivia Thursday will be Sharon. Hello. Yay. This Thursday will be our last Trivia Thursday for this month. So the following Saturday will be when we draw our names. Also, this Thursday is my gorgeous sister's birthday. So I'll be singing happy birthday to her right in here. Sure will. And then on Friday, we have Flex Friday. I hope y'all are seeing these thumbnails. All of the thumbnails are created by our very own Lady Bird Love, Khadijah. Um, yes, Khadijah is, I don't know what program she uses, but she'll ask me what I want to be. And if you see my big thumbnail at the beginning, or my picture at the beginning, and you see the fairy, absolutely. If you know me, I have my Tinkerbell right here. Love my Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell says dream big and believe. Do I believe in fairies? Absolutely. Absolutely. I do. Fairies and angels, yes. And bringing us to Flex Friday. Khadijah gave me muscles. She even gave me a boob reduction. But I think it's absolutely beautiful. And then my grandson helped me to put the wording in. He saw how I did it on one. He was like, "Oh, I want to do it. I want to do it." I let him help. So on Saturdays, of course, we have show off Saturdays. That's the one with the bee, where we have the map. It's just fun, y'all. I'm telling y'all. So yes, I will be showing off everything that I've done so far this week. My hopes, being that I've shown you the mat, I will be showing that again on Saturday. I'm hoping to be able to show you this baby. I might even be able to show you the crossbody bag. I don't know. I'm still working out the details in my head, how I want it, what color I want it. So yeah, yeah. So one other thing I wanted to go over with you before we left. I did it the other day, but I wanted to keep everybody abreast as to where we are. Okay. So our trivia tally sheet so far, we have Sharon with 3 entries, BB with 4 entries, Tracy with 2 entries, Jennifer with 3 entries, and Jennifer Redgate, not our CEO. Our CEO participates because she loves trivia, but she doesn't go in the pot. We have Khadijah with 5 entries, Vivian with 7 entries, Racine with 3 entries, Lori with 6 entries, Joan with 7 entries, and Gail with 2 entries. So keeping up with them, y'all. I'm definitely keeping up. And we do have trivia coming up on Thursday. Already ready to go. I have pulled out another whole notebook, took all the pages out, it didn't matter. Set one section in here aside for our knowledge nuggets. Excuse me. That's where all of our questions will go. And I even have our rules and regulations written out. So we are set and ready to go there. And the very last announcement, which is the best for me, for us, my team is coming together, and a team member who was recently added, I'm pretty sure you all probably see and have figured out by now that she has a wrench by her name, and that is our BB. Our BB is our moderator, and I am so, so, so happy to have her on the team. So, everybody, let's give hand claps to BB and hugs and welcome her aboard. I'm so happy, guys. When I asked her, she said yes. I melted. I absolutely melted. I was so happy. And I even had a couple of tears. They were happy tears. Y'all know me, I'm a water baby. Doesn't take much. But I was so, so, so excited when she said yes, almost before I could get the question out. As a matter of fact, I don't even think I asked the question in the beginning. I just went on to my spiel and she was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, did you hear me the first time? I said yes. But she is an absolute delight. And I absolutely love her for being who she is, being who she is. All of you have a special place in my heart, and I don't want you to ever think anything differently. And I pray constantly. When I tell y'all I pray constantly, I was raised to believe that you pray never ceasing. And with me not knowing my father coming up, I have such a relationship with God that I call him daddy. Whenever I'm praying, I will call him daddy, unless it's for the public. Then I will refer to him as the public would like to hear. But I know with everything in me that God knows your heart and that he has always been that dad that I missed. And I believe that I'm still here. I know that I'm still here because of him, because too many times I have been counted out. There have been two times in my life that they have actually called a time on me, and I'm still here. I'm still here. A lot of you know that after I gave birth to my son Christopher, before I actually gave birth, they called a time on me. And but I saw his birth from behind the doctor. I saw my mom holding my hand. I saw my husband when he left the room. I saw the nurses rushing and trying and doing everything they could. I saw them when they put the sheet over me. I heard I heard the housekeeper run out the room when I was reaching for that fog in front of me, but it was actually the sheet. Y'all, all I heard was the mop hit the floor and feet running out of the room. Oh my goodness. But there have been those times, and he has seen fit for me to still be here and experience being a grandmother. I did not think that was going to happen. And, but I am, and I love my grandchildren. I absolutely love my grandchildren. When I was a kid, I said I wanted 12 kids. He blessed me to raise 35, 29 boys and 6 girls. And I'm so thankful. When I wanted to start a YouTube channel, I didn't know which direction to turn. I didn't know what to do. And I looked at a few people on YouTube who talked about it and how they got started. And I wondered if I could do it. And I sat back and told my CEO, I said, I think it's some, for years people have been telling me, go on YouTube, go on YouTube, go on YouTube, and I'm like, well, what do I do? What do I say? What do I talk about? There are a lot of things that I do in my life. I write poetry. I'm an author. I'm a published author. Um, I crochet. I draw. There are a lot of things that I do. I'm very much into organizing. With filing is my thing. Making spreadsheets is my jam. I don't know anything else about computers, but I know how to do those. So those are things that I absolutely loved, and micro organizing, which is why I can never keep anything in my room straight, because I'm always seeing a different way that I can do things to condense or to minimize, to maximize space, to minimize the utilized space so that I'll have more room. I love spreading out. But I didn't know, and then the experiences that I've had in my life, listening to people say, girl, you should write a book. You should write a book. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But I didn't know which direction to take. And my daughter said, first, turn on the camera and just talk. So I set up my phone. This was back when I still had my king size bed. I sat on the phone right over here to my left, and I just talked into the camera for like 2 hours. She said, does anything about that feel familiar? I was like, yeah, ever since I was a little girl. I have always talked like I was on stage or something, just talking to people who weren't there. Told you I was raised an only child. I, my mom stayed busy and she stayed gone a lot. So I was mainly with my mom and not with the neighborhood kids. And with her being involved in so much, It was like the Democratic women, the National Association of University Women, women of distinction. The list just went on. So it was always this older crowd. I didn't have kids my age. Plus, I was thrust into adulthood at the age of 4 by a grown man. So the childhood just wasn't there. So I talked to my dolls, my stuffed animals. I sang, I danced, I did my gymnastics in my room. I played hide and seek by myself. I did. I had a wardrobe that was amazing. It had this huge drawer at the bottom, and I was small enough back then I could get in the drawer. When my mama was looking for me and never could find me in that drawer. And then the day she realized I was in the drawer, she stood in front of the drawer and she was like, I have no idea where you are. You can come out now. And I'm like, she started sounding like she was panicking a little bit. So I'm trying to get out of the drawer and she's standing in front of the drawer. Tell me who was panicking. It was me. I never got in the drawer again. I didn't do that one again. But yeah, it's and then from that point, it didn't take too much convincing. My daughter looked at the videos that I had done and she was like, that part right there is good. That part right there is good. And I told her, I said, sometimes I can't crochet. I wanted crochet channel, but sometimes I can't crochet while. And this was part of restructuring the channel. When I told her, I said, maybe there's a day that I could set aside to kind of set everything up. We can talk about the crochet and other things that are going on and, things that are happening in the community. And she pushes me. She does. She's like, go for it. You'll never know if you don't try. And I appreciate that. I appreciate each one of you for showing up and showing out, simply for being here, because you make this easy for me. Anybody who thinks it's easy, it's not. But when people come along that can help make it easy for you, that speaks volumes for you all. And I'm so appreciative for you. So on that note, I hope you love yourselves as much as I love each and every one of you, as much as I love you. I love you. But I do love me, and it's a tough thing to really love yourself. I've taken that time and I've reached that goal. And I know that I can genuinely say to each and every one of you that I love you. And it's sincere. And it's from the bottom of everything in me, meaning everything that's engulfed in that love I have for each and every one of you. We all know that self love is the greatest love of all. And each one of you deserve that great love. I will see you guys again on Thursday. We got some crocheting and some recording to do. And I will see you guys soon. I love you. I love you. I love you. My phone keeps ringing. Peace out, guys.